الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Respected brothers and sisters, welcome to our weekly class on explanation of Al-Muqaddimah Al-Ajurrimiyyah, and the explanation that we are currently going through is by Shaykh Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid rahimahullah, called Al-Tuhfah Al-Sanniyyah. And in our last lesson, we started talking about Huruf al-Atf. Hurufu al-Atf. And I believe that we mentioned there were Ashara, and we looked at the first 6. Ashara, and we looked at the first 6. So today, inshallah, we'll finish off the rest, and then we'll also look at Hukm Huruf al-Atf, the rulings connected to Huruf al-Atf. Hopefully you can see the screen. Now, so we started Huruf al-Atf. Now, we spoke about this, looked at all this in a lot of detail. Then we reached here. Yep, this is our mark. Number 7. So this is where we are starting today, insha'Allah ta'ala. Okay. So it says number 7, Bal. This is the next harf al-Atf, Bal. وهي للإضراب. And this harf al-Atf is for al-Idrab. What's the meaning of al-Idrab? ومعناه, يعني the meaning of al-Idrab is what? جعل ما قبلها في حكم المسكوت عنه. It is that it makes that which comes before it. Yani bal, it makes that which comes before it, it gives it the ruling of al-maskut anhu. It gives a ruling of something that has not been spoken about. Yes, so that is the role of bal. Yani bal makes that which comes before it something that has never been spoken about, that has not been spoken about, that has not been mentioned. This is an example here. But this is the wrong example, because you can't have ma should not be there. So the correct example to use is Ja'a Muhammadun bal Bakrun. Okay, Ja'a Muhammadun bal Bakrun. So that means what in English? Muhammad came, rather it was Bakr. Muhammad came, but instead it was Bakr. Yes, so what did you do? First you affirmed Maji for Muhammad. You affirmed that Muhammad came. Then you turned away from Muhammad. And you transferred the ruling which you applied to Muhammad, which is that he came. You applied that and you transferred it over to Bakr. As if you have not said anything about Muhammad. As if what you said, it was like a mistake. You said Muhammad came. No, rather it was Bakr. Yes. So you are not saying anything about Muhammad now. You are not saying Muhammad came, Muhammad didn't come. No. It was just slip of the tongue, or you forgot, or whatever. It was like a mistake. You mentioned Muhammad, but really you don't know anything about Muhammad. Did he come? Did he not come? Okay, so here, that's what you've done. That which came before Bal, which is what? That Muhammad came. You have given it, you have put it in the ruling of what? Maskut anhu. Meaning something that is not mentioned or talked about. Alas. Okay. That is the meaning of al-idrab. But there is a shart. There are two shurut. Bal is not always harf al-atf. It is harf al-atf if two conditions are fulfilled. What are these two conditions? Number one, look, وَيُشْتَرَطُ لِلْأَطْفِ بِهَا شَرْطَانِ. If you want to use it as atf, harf al-atf, there have to be shartan. Al-awwal, أن يكون المعطوف بها مفردا لا جملة. That al-ma'atuf, the thing that comes after it. Remember, we have ma'atuf, ma'atuf alayh. Ma'atuf is the thing that comes after harf al-atf. Al-ma'atuf alayh is the thing that comes before harf al-atf. So the first condition is that ma'atuf, which is that which is what comes after the harf al-atf, after bal, it should be mufrad, not jumlah. If it is jumlah, then bal will not be harf al-atf. It will be something else. For it to be harf al-atf, that which comes after the ma'atuf, which comes after bal, must be mufrad. What do you mean mufrad? Mufrad here, what opposes the jumla. Mufrad can mean different things in different contexts. Here mufrad, what does it mean? Here mufrad means that which is not a jumla. So for example, here, Bakrun. Bakr is mufrad. So can we say muthanna and jam' here? Yes, we can say muthanna and jam' because all of them are not jumla. So here mufrad means that which is not jumla. So it includes mufrad, muthanna, jam', no problem, as long as it's not jumla. Like you see in this example here. And the shart thani, alla yasbikaha istifham. It's not preceded by istifham. So for example, you don't say Ja'a Muhammadun abal Bakrun. You see, this is harf al-istifham. So it should not be preceded by istifham of any kind, any أداة الاستفهام, حرف الاستفهام or اسم الاستفهام, whatever it is. Okay, so that is about bal. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is number 8 here. So next one is la. La can also be harf al-atf. Okay, so what is the, what do you call it, the job of la? What is the meaning of la? Says here لا وهي تنفي عما بعدها نفس الحكم الذي ثبت لما قبلها نحو جاء بكر لا خالد. So I say la, it negates for that which comes after it. What does it negate for that which comes after it? The same hukam that if it affirms for that which comes before it. That's la. Now, what does la do? It negates for that which comes after it the same ruling that it affirms for that which comes before it. For example, جاء بكر لا خالد. جاء بكر, Bakr came. لا خالد, not Khalid. So look, what is that which comes after la is Khalid. So there are two different rulings here. For Bakr, we affirm he came. Khalid, we negate that he came. That's it. So we've negated for Khalid the hukam that we affirmed for Bakr. It's easy. جاء فعل, بكر فاعل, لا حرف العطف, خالد معطوف على بكر. You know the i'rab of معطوف معطوف عليه. Yes, it's easy. Also here, جاء محمد بالبكر, جاء فعل, محمد فاعل, بل حرف عطف, بكر معطوف على محمد. واضح؟ Okay. Number 9, لكن. This is another حرف العطف. Okay, now pay close attention, because la and lakin are very, very similar, but there's a slight difference between the two. Okay. So let's look at lakin. What does lakin mean? وهي تدل على تقرير حكم ما قبلها وإثبات ضده لما بعدها. Same as la. Same as la. So lakin, it affirms a hukam for that which comes before it, Yes, and it affirms an opposite hukm for that which comes after it. Okay, I'll repeat. So lakin, it affirms a hukm, a particular hukm, a particular ruling for that which comes before it, and it affirms the opposite of that hukm for that which comes after it. Yani same as la. Same as la. For example, look at the example. La uhibbul kasala lakinil mujtahidina. I don't love the kusala. I don't love lazy people. Yes. But yani, the mujtahideen. Instead, I love the mujtahideen, those who work hard. Okay, so what have you done here? Look at lakin. Before lakin, you've got a particular ruling. What is that? You don't love the kusala. What's the opposite of not loving? It's loving. So after lakin, you've given mujtahideen the opposite ruling of what is before lakin. Before lakin, no love. After lakin, love. Before lakin, you don't love kusala. After lakin, you are affirming love, which is opposite of not loving. Yes. So as you can see, la and lakin have the same meaning. So what is the difference? There is one fundamental difference. And what is that? That is that la, yes, for la to act as a harf al-atf, then la has to be preceded by muthbat, yani an affirmative sentence. Now, ja'a bakrun, is this affirmative or is this negative? Of course, it's affirmative. So la is preceded by an affirmative statement, which is ja'a bakrun. Okay, so for la to be harf al-atf, it has to be preceded by muthbat, yani that which is any in the affirmative, yes, or positive if you want to call it. So for example, we say Ja'a Zaydun la Amrun. Okay, can we say Ma Ja'a Zaydun la Amrun? No, we cannot, because here la would be preceded by a nafi. You cannot say that. This is okay, this is not. Lakin is the opposite. Lakin, for lakin to be a harf al-atf, it has to be preceded by nafi or nahi, negation or prohibition. As in the example, yes? Look at the example. La uhibbul kasala. Can you see lakin is preceded by nafi, negation. Okay, so to give you a simpler example, if I say Ma ja'a Zaydun lakin Amrun. Perfect. Because lakin is preceded by nafi. But if I say, can I say Ja'a Zaydun lakin Amrun? No, I cannot. Because here lakin is not preceded by nafi, it's preceded by muthbat, an affirmative statement. Yes, because lakin has to be preceded by either nafi or nahi. What do you mean by nahi? For example, I can say لا تضرب زيدا. لكن عمرا. Okay, لكن عمرا. So here لكن is preceded by nahi, prohibition. لا تضرب زيدا. Don't hit Zaid, لكن عمرا, but Amran, hit Amran. Yes. Okay, so here obviously this is fine. This is also correct. Okay. So yeah. So basically, la and lakin have the same meaning. What is the meaning? That whatever hukam, anything, whatever comes before la or lakin, whatever hukam it has, you affirm the opposite of that hukam for that which comes after la and lakin. But with the difference that we mentioned, that la is not to be preceded by except muthbat, whereas lakin must be preceded by nafi or nahi. Yeah. And then of course, as you know, jaa is fi'l, sorry, ma here is harfu nafi, jaa is fi'l, zayd is fa'il, lakin harfu atf, amr ma'tuf ala zayd. Same here, amr is ma'tuf ala zayd, lakin harf, la harfu nahi. Harfu nahi, yes. So it's harf like ma. Ma is harfu nafi. مبين السكون لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. It has no mahal, no amal. But la, yes, harf. So it has no mahal, but it has a amal. What is amal? يجزم الفعل. That's why it says لا تضرب. فعل مضارع مجزوم بلا الناهية. تضرب فعل مضارع مجزوم بلا الناهية. علامة جزم السكون. وفاعله ضمير مستتر تقريبا أنت. زيد مفعول به لكن حرف عم معطوف على زيد. Okay, so that should be clear, inshallah. Okay, let's finish off what he says here. Okay. Now, yes. So now he mentions some of the shuruta must be fulfilled for lakin to act as harf al-atf. وَيُشْتَرَطُ. So there are three shurut. Number one, وَيُشْتَرَطُ أَن يَسْبِكَهَا نَفْيٌ نَحْيٌ, which we just mentioned. That it's a condition that is preceded by either nafi or nahi. وَأَنْ يَكُونَ الْمَعْطُوفُ بِهَا مُفْرَدًا. Same thing as bal. أن يكون المعطوف مفرد لا جملة. يعني that which comes after it, the ma'tuf, that which comes after it must be mufrad, not jumlah. Yes, because again, if it is jumlah, it is not going to be harf al-atf. And the last one, وَأَلَّا تَسْبِكَهَا الْوَاوُ, is not preceded by al-waw, because if lakin is preceded by al-waw, lakin is no longer harf al-atf. You can't have two harf al-atfs together. A waw becomes the harf al-atf, lakin just becomes harf al-istidrak. For example, yes, the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين صلى الله عليه وسلم. ما كان Muhammad is not the father of any man from amongst you. ولكن but he is Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم وخاتم النبيين and the seal of the prophets. So here ولكن, so here لكن is no longer حرف العطف. الواو is the حرف العطف, لكن is بس حرف الاستدراك. You know, like when you do the i'rab of this, they are all حرف العطف. But here, for example, بل, you would say حرف إضراب وعطف. لا, you would say حرف نفي وعطف. لكن you would say حرف استدراك وعطف. استدراك. That is the meaning of لكن. It is لكن استدراك. استدراك means to correct something. Yes, so of course you are correcting something. It's istidrak. A correction or a rectification or the likes. Okay, that's that. Okay, so hopefully that is clear. Yes, so far. All right, the last one. Hatta. Number 10. Okay, here we have to pay attention again. Now, hatta, we're talking about hatta when it's harf al-atf. Mabni ala sukun. La mahalla lahu min al-i'rab wa la amal. You know, all the huruf al-atf, they have no mahal because it's a harf and it has no amal. It doesn't act upon anything that comes after it. Yes, it has no amal. So harf al-atf, which is for hatta, sorry, hatta. When hatta is used as harf al-atf, yes, it points to two things. What are they? وَهِيَ لِلتَّدْرِيجِ وَالْغَايَةِ. It points to number one, tadrij. Tadrij means something that is done gradually, step by step. And ghaya, the end, the limit, the summit, the pinnacle. So now he explains to you what does tadrij mean here. What does tadrij mean? هو الدلالة على انقضاء الحكم شيئا فشيئا. Tadrij means that something happens shay'an fa shay'an, gradually, step by step. It doesn't happen all at once. Okay? That's the meaning of tadrij. Yes, for example, يموت الناس حتى الأنبياء. يموت في المضارع، الناس فاعل، حتى حرف العطف ما بين السكون لا محل ولا عمل. الأنبياء معطوف على الناس. Now, this حتى يموت الناس, do people, all the people in the world die at the same time? Or is it step by step, one person dies, another person dies, another person dies? It's a gradual process, people dying. It happens step by step, yes? People die one by one. Yes? So, yamutun nas, people die, even the Anbiya, even the prophets. Even the prophets die. Yes? So, that's what it means. So, what does the word al-ghaya mean? As I told you, al-ghaya means the limit or the end. Yes? But what does that mean? That means that the ma'atuf, which is the thing that comes after hatta, is the ghaya or ma'tuf alayh, the thing that which comes before hatta. What does that mean? Yani that which comes after hatta is the ghaya, is the end or is the limit for that which comes before hatta. Okay? And one thing you have to understand, I'm going to explain that. Okay, what does that mean? It means basically that the ma'tuf, which is what comes after hatta, is the ghaya, is the end, is the limit, is the pinnacle for that which comes before hatta, which is the ma'tuf alayh, either in ziyada, yani an increase or nuqsan, a decrease or sharaf, nobility, or ad-dana'a, yani the opposite of nobility, yani lowliness. Yes, so that what comes after hatta is the ghaya, is the pinnacle, is the limit, is the end of that comes before hatta in one of these four things, either in ziyada or nuqsan or sharaf or dana'ah. Here, for example, يَمُوتُ النَّاسُ حَتَّى الْأَنْبِيَاء. It shows us two things. Firstly, the hukm is al-maut, and this happens shay'an fa shay'an. When you want people die one by one or two by two or whatever. Yes, everybody doesn't die at the same time. Yes, and this hukm, it even reaches, it even applies to the Anbiya, who are the ghaya of the people in nobility. Aren't Anbiya the end, the limit, yani the pinnacle of people when it comes to nobility? Of course they are. They are the ashrafun nas. Okay, what if I say to you, I say, غَلَبَكَ النَّاسُ حَتَّى الْمَجَانِينُ. The people defeated you. Yes, people defeated you, even the madmen, even the crazy majaneen, they defeated you. Yeah, people defeated you. One by one, people defeated you. Yes, gradually everybody defeated you, even the majaneen. So the majaneen, they are the ghaya of the people when it comes to any, what do you call it? Lowliness in terms of intellect and the way they do things. Yes, they are kind of, you would say, when it comes to morals and character, they could be considered from the lowest of people in that regards. That's nuqsan. Remember I said, can be ghaya in ziyada, can be ghaya in nuqsan. This, of course, this is in, sorry, not, this is in dana'a. Ghaya in sharaf, which was Anbiya, the example before this. This is the ghaya in dana'a, which is the opposite of sharaf. The majaneen are considered from amongst the people, from the lowest of people in terms of intellect and the way they do things and so on. And even they beat you. Even they defeated you. Another example, if I say, Fulanun tasaddaqa bi mabaligh azima hatta al-malayin. فلان تصدق بمبالغ عظيمة. Remember this mamnu min as-sarf. حتى الملايين. معطوف على مبالغ. So it says فلان تصدق مبالغ عظيمة. Yani such a person, so and so, gives in charity large amounts, even millions. Even millions. So of course here, even millions, malayin, when it comes to in terms of amount, yani it's the utmost amount, highest. Ziyada. It's a ghaya in ziyada. It is a limit of an increase of what is considered a lot. Millions. Yes. Also you can say, for example, for a nuqsan, yes, because we said it can be ghaya in ziyada, ghaya in naqs. For example, you can say an-nasu majziyuna. بِأَعْمَالِهِمْ حتى مثقال ذرة. حتى الناس مجزيون بأعمالهم حتى مثقال ذرة. Why مثقال? Because it is معطوف على أعمال, and أعمال is مجرور with باء. مجرور. So people will be recompensed for their deeds. حتى مثقال ذرة, even as much as a mustard seed, or an atom's weight, you can say. So an atom's weight, naqs, in terms of reaching the limit of being the smallest, isn't that the case? Can there be anything from the a'mal, from actions, which is lower than atom's weight? No, it cannot be. It's impossible. Okay, so this is the point I wanted to make here. The hatta, which is for harf al-atf, هي للتدريج والغاية. والتدريج هو الدلالة والانقضاء الحكم شيء فشيء نحو يموت الناس حتى الأنبياء. We explain the تدريج. Here the author didn't bother explaining غاية. He didn't want to go into details. But because it's mentioned here, I thought it's best to just explain it. Yes. Okay. Now he says, but hatta is not always حرف العطف. وتأتي حتى ابتدائيا غير عاطفة. Sometimes حتى can be ابتدائية, not عاطفة. عاطفة حرف العطف. Sometimes it can be ابتدائية, يعني حرف ابتداء. It is still a حرف which has no محل and no عمل. يعني you would say حتى حرف ابتداء. حتى حرف ابتداء. Or say حتى ابتدائية, no problem. مبني السكون, لا محل من الإعراب ولا عمل. Yes. Okay, when is حتى ابتدائي? ابتدائية means it starts a new clause, a new jumla. Okay, but when is ابتدائية? وتأتي حتى ابتدائية غير عاطفة إذا كان ما بعدها جملة. If that which comes after is جملة, not مفرد. For example, نحو جاء أصحابنا حتى خالد حاضر. Our companions came, even Khalid is present. Our companions came, even Khalid was present. So you see here, This is Jumla Ismiya, Mubtada wa Khabar. It's come after Hatta. So here Hatta is not Harf al-Atf. Here Hatta is Ibtida'iyyah. Yani our companions came, full stop. Even Khalid was present. Even Khalid was present is yani a new clause, introducing a new idea. That's why it's called Harfu Ibtida. It's used to begin a new clause. Can also be Jumla Fi'liya. The main thing is Jumla. نعم. جاء أصحابنا حتى خالد هذا. So that جاء فعل ماضي. أصحابنا, this is the fa'il. حتى حرف ابتداء. خالد مبتدا حاضر خبر. وتأتي جارة, and sometimes حتى can be جارة حرف جر نحو قوله تعالى حتى مطلع الفجر, until dawn, until the rise of dawn. And مطلعي is مجرور بحتى. So حتى is حرف الجر مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب. مطلعي اسم مجرور بحتى ولم جر كسر دال الآخر ومضاف الفجر مضاف إليه. ولهذا قال المؤلف, and this is why the muallif at the beginning, what did he say? وحتى في بعض المواضع. The حتى is also حرف العطف, but in only some situations. That's why if you go right to the beginning, he says it there. باب العطف وحروف عطف 10 وهي الواو والفاء وثم وأو وأم وإم وبل ولا ولكن وحتى في بعض المواضع. Okay, so with that we're moving on here now very quickly. This is something that should not take more than 10 minutes. حكم حروف العطف, because you know the حكم حروف العطف. It's very, very easy. Nothing to it. In a nutshell, the حكم of حروف العطف is what? That the ma'tuf has the same i'rab as the ma'tuf alayh. That's it. Yes, the ma'tuf, that which comes after the harf al-atf, has the same i'rab as al-ma'tuf alayh, that which comes before the harf al-atf. So that is common sense. Okay. قال, so Ibn Ājurrumiyyah, the author rahimahullah, he says, فَإِنْ أَطَفْتَ عَلَى مَرْفُوعٍ رَفَعْتَ, that if you do atf upon marfu, rafa'ta, that thing which comes after harf al-atf, rafa'ta, you will also make it marfu. Yeah, فَإِنْ أَطَفْتَ عَلَى الْمَرْفُوعِ. So if the thing is already marfu and you do atf of something upon this marfu, rafa'ta, that thing which comes after harf al-atf, rafa'ta, you will also make it marfu. أو على منصوب نصبت, but if you do atf ala mansub, nasabta, that thing, the ma'tuf, you will make it mansub. أو على مخفوض خفضت, or if you do atf ala makhfud, then the ma'tuf that comes after خفضت, you will also make it makhfud, yani majroor. أو على مجزوم جزمت, if you do ma'tuf upon something majzoom, that which comes after the ma'tuf, jazamta, you will also make it majzoom. For example, تقول قام زيد وعمر. Here you've done ma'tuf of Amr upon Zayd. So Amr is going to be marfu. So قام زيد. So this is harf al-atf, wow. Yes, so what is before wow is Zayd is marfu. So what is after wow, Amr, ma'tuf ala Zayd is also going to be marfu. وَرَأَيْتُ زَيْدًا وَعَمْرًا. Zaydan is ma'tuf alayhi, is mansoob, and Amr is ma'tuf, is also going to be mansoob. وَمَرَرْتُ بِزَيْدٍ وَعَمْرٍ. Zayd, which is ma'tuf alayhi, is majroor, makhfood. Amr, which is ma'tuf, is also going to have the same i'rab, majroor, makhfood. وَزَيْدٌ لَمْ يَكُمْ وَلَمْ يَقْعُدْ is the harf al-atf, is majzoom. Lam yakum, ma'tuf alayhi, is majzoom. So ma'tuf is also going to be majzoom. That's the speech of the author. Now the Sharih, rahimahullah, Shaykh Muhammad, he says, وَأَقُولُ, I say, هذه الأحرف العشرة, these 10 ahruf, يعني the حروف العطف, تجعل ما بعدها تابعا لما قبلها في حكمه الإعرابي. These 10 words or letters, they make that which comes after them follow that which comes before them in its i'rab. فإن كان المتبوع مرفوعا كان مرفوعا. So if the matbu', that which is followed, يعني معطوف عليه, is marfu', كان التابع, that which follows it, يعني the معطوف, مرفوعا, it was marfu'. نحو قابلني محمد وخالد. محمد مرفوع, which is the matbu', which is the ma'tuf alayh, is marfu'. So Khalid, which is the ma'tuf or the tabi', is also going to be marfu'. So look here, فخالد معطوف على محمد. So Khalid is معطوف على محمد, ولا معطوف على مرفوع مرفوع. That which is معطوف على مرفوع is also going to be مرفوع. وعلامة رفعه ضمة ظاهرة. وإن كان المتبوء منسوبا كان التابع منسوبا. نحو قابلت محمدا وخالدا. فخالدا معطوف على محمد, والمعطوف على المنسوب منسوب, وعلامة نصبه الفتحة ظاهرة. وإن كان المتبوء مخفوضا كان التابع مخفوضا مثله. If the matbu' يعني معطوف عليه is مخفوضا مجرورا, the tabi', which is a ma'tuf, is also going to be مخفوض مثله, just like it. نحو مررت محمد وخالد. فخالد is what? Is معطوف على محمد, والمعطوف على مخفوض مخفوض, معطوف على مخفوض is going to be مخفوض. وعلامة خفضه الكسرة الظاهرة. وإن كان المطبوع مجزوما كان التابع مجزوما أيضا. So if the matbu' is majzoom, if the matbu' ma'tuf alayhi majzoom, the tabi', which is a ma'tuf, is also going to be majzoom. نحو لم يحضر خالد أو يرسل رسولا. حرف العطف majzoom, majzoom, even though it's not preceded by lam again, but it's majzoom. Why is yursil majzoom? Because ma'tuf la yahdur. So it's majzoom. Here it's majzoom because preceded by lam. Yes. حرف نفي وقلب وجزم. لم حرف نفي وجزم وقلب مبني على السكون له الإعراب. يحضر is majzoom because of lam. Why is yursil majzoom, although it's not preceded by anything that makes it majzoom? Because it is ma'tuf ala majzoom. فيرسل, so يرسل معطوف على يحضر. يرسل معطوف على يحضر, ولا معطوف على مجزوم, وعلامة جزمه السكون. ومن هذه الأمثلة تعرف, so from all these examples, تعرف أن الاسم يؤطف على الاسم, وأن الفعل يؤطف على الفعل. From all these examples, you have come to know that ism is معطوف upon ism and the fi'l is معطوف على الفعل. Yes, so I just translated it. But that's very, very self-explanatory and easy to understand. You could read it yourself again. It's very simple. In a nutshell, what is it? Yeah, I just did that, yes. I did it fast because it's all the same, it's repetitive. So if you understood the first, when I first translated to English, the first part, then the rest is clear. So if you go back to the first part here, this, look at it from here. to here. If you understand this, the rest is the same. So I'll translate this part for you again. هذه الأحرف العشرة تجعل, these 10 words, these 10 حروف العطف, تجعل ما بعدها, they make that which comes after it, تابعا لما قبلها, they make that which comes after it follow that which comes before it. How? في حكم الإعراب, in its إعراب. So basically the i'rab of that which comes after harf al-atf, which is the ma'atuf, which is the tabi', will have the same i'rab as the thing that comes before harf al-atf, which is the al-matbu' or al-ma'atuf alayhi. So then it just breaks it down for you. So I'll go through the first one again, and then the rest is the same. فَإِنْ كَانَ الْمَتْبُوءُ مَرْفُوعًا. So if the matbu', that which is being followed, yani the ma'atuf alayh, yani the thing that comes before the harf al-atf, if it is marfu, kana tabi'u marfu'an, the tabi', the ma'atuf, the thing that comes after harf al-atf, it will also be marfu'. Nahwu qabalani Muhammadun wa Khalidun, Muhammad and Khalid met me. So here Muhammad, which is the matbu', which is the ma'atuf alayhi, it is marfu'. That means Khalid, which comes after harf al-atf, wow, is also going to be marfu', because that which comes after harf al-atf, which is called the ma'atuf, which is called the tabi', has the same i'rab of that which comes before the harf al-atf, which is called the matbu', that the thing that's being followed, or called the ma'atuf alayh. And then explains it here. So it says Khalid is ma'atufun ala Muhammad. Khalid is ma'atuf ala Muhammad. Yes, wal ma'atuf ala marfu marfu. So if something's going to be ma'atuf ala marfu', then it's also going to be marfu'. So here Khalid is ma'atuf ala Muhammad and Muhammad is marfu'. So this means Khalid is also going to be marfu'. Wa alamat rafi dhamma zahiran. That's very obvious. Yes, the alamat rafi, the alamat raf of Khalid is what? Dhamma zahira. And then it tells you same thing about the mansub. When kalimatu mansub kana mansuban, then it gives you examples. Then it says when kalimatu makhfud kana makhfudan mithlahu, then it gives you example. Then it says when kalimatu majzum kana majzuman aidan, gives you an example. And then this part already explained that from all these examples you've learned that ism is ma'atuf ala al-ism, and ism is not ma'atuf upon a fi'l. Ism is ma'atuf ala al-ism, and the fi'l is ma'atuf ala al-fi'l. So and so next week inshallah we should start at-tawqid. Hopefully we'll start and finish next week at-tawqid inshallah. That's the aim. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, no problem. Anybody have any questions? Please go ahead. Yes, yani Kitab al-Tawheed. I know Kitab al-Tawheed. I know Al-Aqidah Al-Wasatiyyah. I know the 100-line poem, yes. Al-Urjuza Al-Mi'iyah by Ibn Abil Iz Al-Hanafi rahimahullah. Yes, if you can memorize these books, they are excellent. With an understanding of what is in them, that is excellent, yep. As for the study of Shahada, Manhaj and Matan Abu Shuja, I'm not familiar with them. But before memorizing Quran, yani it's not a, yani Quran is number one. Yani Quran should be your priority in memorizing the entire Quran, and it's not difficult. It can be done. Just requires hard work, dedication, sacrifice. That's it. Simple. By the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Quran should be your priority, and while you are memorizing the Quran, you don't have to memorize the Quran in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. No, who told you you have to do that? You can memorize the Quran in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Just keep memorizing. Slowly, slowly, whatever you are able to. The main thing is that you are memorizing, and eventually you will memorize the entire Quran, inshallah. Now, so while you are memorizing the Quran, of course, learn the basics of your deen. Yes. What do we mean by the basics of your deen? You have to focus on knowledge which is obligatory upon you as an individual. And what is that knowledge? And if you study Usul al-Thalatha, you'll know. The knowledge that is obligatory upon you as an individual is that knowledge which, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has obligated upon you to believe in something, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has obligated upon you to say something, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has obligated upon you to do something, then how can you believe in it? How can you say it? How can you do it without having knowledge? That means ما لا يتم الواجب إلا به فهو واجب. That means the only way you can fulfill these obligations is by gaining knowledge of it. So that means the knowledge of these things becomes obligatory upon you. Is zakat obligatory upon you at the moment? Maybe not. Maybe you're not from the people of zakat. So at this particular moment, zakat is not obligatory upon you to learn about as an individual. Yes, we should learn about zakat. It is something recommended. But at the moment, it's not an obligation upon you to learn the zakat if you're not from the people of zakat. If you don't do business, you don't have transactions, you just like maybe a teacher like me, yes, it's not obligatory upon you to learn about buyu, buying and selling. But if you start a business, then it does. So the first thing you have to focus on is that you have to focus on knowledge is obligatory upon you. So memorize the Quran and focus on the basics that are obligatory upon you. How to make wudu, about tahara. If you are a woman, learn about the women's issues. Tahara, tayammum, wudu, what breaks your wudu, masal al-khuffayn, nawakid al-wudu, ghusl, and al-hayd, wan-nifas, and the salah. And when it's time to fast, you must learn about fasting. If you want to go to Hajj and Umrah, then you must learn about Hajj and Umrah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to believe in certain things. We must have knowledge of those certain things. We have knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His angels, His books, His messengers, the Yawm al-Akhir, al-Qadr, khayrihi wa sharrihi. There's certain knowledge from there which is obligatory. And the tafasil, the details of it, perhaps not. But the basics of that knowledge you must have. Who is Allah? Like this. So a lot of people, they think that they cannot do everything together. it's very easily attainable. These are sourced from the shaitan. Yes, otherwise you're going to end up spending 23, 30 years. At the end of it, you're going to know very little. Because now, the shaitan wants to put you off memorizing Quran. So you must do this before you can memorize Quran. No, who told us that? It's not the way of the Salaf. Start memorizing Quran, do what you can do, even if it takes you 10 years. La bas. And alongside that, learn the basics of your deen and then develop out and learn and go into more depth. Now, what about hadith, ya Ustad? At the moment, a friend is currently memorizing Shaykh Al-Albani's book on the Prophet's prayer, and he memorized the hadith in regards to Salah. He's memorizing from different sources, all from Kutub as-Sitta and the Musnad Ahmad, as mentioned in the margins by Al-Albani. Any thoughts on this or advice? Hadith, yani the thing is, follow the advice of the ulama. Okay, I think one of the biggest calamities of our time is that, yes, we have many brothers and sisters, mashallah, tabarakallah, who are very keen to gain knowledge, and they are doing it, and that is khair, because you are gaining knowledge, you are in ibadah, and you are upon the path to Jannah, inshallah. It's one of the best acts that you can do, no doubt. Keep and continue and continue and continue. But if you want to become a strong student of knowledge, then follow the advice of the ulama. The ulama, they said, when it comes to hadith, in terms of memorization and understanding, start with Imam Nawawi's 40 hadith. Then move on to Umdatul Ahkam. Then move on to Bulughul Maram. And then Riyadus Salihin. And then after that, we can look at the other books. Muntaqa al-Akhbar, which is like a bigger version of Bulughul Maram. And then you can also look at the Kutub as-Sitta. But yes, of course, yani Shaykh Al-Albani Rahimah's prayer book, if you are memorizing from there, yani what you should do and say in your prayer, then yes, we have to. And if Shaykh Al-Albani Rahimahullah has brought proofs there that you can do different kinds of dhikr in sujood or ruku', then we memorize these different dhikrs. If Shaykh Al-Albani is mentioned in there that the dua al-istiftah, the opening dua of the prayer after takbir al-ihram, there's different types. If Shaykh Al-Albani with proofs has mentioned that, memorize these different ones, because what's the best thing? The best thing is to learn different ones and then say different ones in different prayers, if you are able. So that's good. Yani if Shaykh Al-Albani Rahimahullah has mentioned, different actions and different statements that should be done throughout the prayer, then yes, you can learn them. And you don't have to memorize everything. Memorize that which is going to benefit you and you're going to act upon in your prayer. And then you can teach it to others. And Shaykh Al-Albani's book is not the Quran. Yes, nor is it a book on hadith that you have to memorize everything from it. Memorize that which you need to memorize and move on. It's a book written by a human. Yes, it's not wahi. Wahi is given priority over the speech of men. Barakallahu feek. No problem. You're welcome. Okay then, brothers and sisters, khair, inshallah, we'll leave it here for today. And inshallah, next week, we will look at another tabi' from the tawabi', which is at-tawqid. inshallah. So wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.